what's one thing that you're doing now or thinking about doing now that you wish you would have been thinking about doing or doing, 12 months ago with the team?
Um, Hold people accountable and
Yeah.
um
And what does
and
that look like for you, Mike, on with
yeah,
your team?
so it's basically if we set a rule and they're not going to do it, like call by 10 a.m., what is the consequence of that? And then to actually follow up and do it. And as a leader, be okay with the fallout and the pain because I know, I've had a team up to 10 people and I have a smaller group now. I think I failed as a leader and I'm growing and learning that I'm not really being fair to the team if I set a rule and I say, here's how it's going to go down. And this one person who I like and they like me, they didn't do what they agreed to, and I let them keep it. Not only, okay, I was nice to that person, so I think I'm being the nice guy, but it's ruining the integrity of the entire rule system that we set up. So then the next person does it and they don't expect to get in trouble. And if I call them out, then they're gonna say, well, you didn't do that to Johnny. And so I'm like, oh, you're right. I didn't do it to Johnny. How could I do it to you? You're picking me. All right, I'll let you go. Then, of course, 2 weeks later, Sarah doesn't do it. I call Sarah. She's like, well, you didn't do it to Johnny or Philip. How can you do it to me? Oh, you're right. And then, of course, it all goes away. And all of the pain sort of avoidance of getting in trouble goes away because like, oh, Mike's a nice guy. He won't do it. So I led by being a nice guy and it destroyed my sales team. And same thing.
Yeah, and that you're not really caring about them and their goals
That's
when
right.
you do that. Because I've been the same exact way.
Yep.
And we were to the point where we had so many appointments, and our agents have appointments set in their calendar. I mean, they don't have to dig in our CRM if they don't want to. It's an opportunity. But it was the same thing. But we couldn't hold them accountable. I felt like we were being held hostage in a way because we had so many
But
appointments,
you chose
not
not
enough
to hold them
agents,
accountable.
and the ones that weren't, because we do have account like they're supposed to be skipped. They don't update those notes. They don't get appointments until they're updated, things like that. But we didn't have enough agents to handle that.
Yeah.
So our integrity was out the window.
That
It
happened
didn't
to
mean
me.
anything.
That happened to me too. And what
Yeah,
happened is it built bad behavior. Like imagine your kid
Mhm.
goes to school, right? And they don't do their homework. Does the teacher just say, oh, you get away with it? No, the good
right.
teacher, they lose grades, right? Or if they didn't study for the test, they really got a 70 on the test, the teacher, and they cry, the teacher doesn't say, I'll give you a 95. Because what would that teach them? The next time there's a test, I don't have to study because I could get a 70, wing it, and I'll get a 95 because I'll cry. Versus if you called them out, you created that one day of pain, right? Next time there's a test coming up, like, oh my gosh, I remember my teacher won't care about my tears and they're going to give me the 70. I'm going to have to own that. I'm going to study, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like
Right.
and I didn't see that as a younger leader, and I blew it and I let my people down. And so now I'm holding myself accountable, and I have a smaller team right now. But as I grow again, I'm just going to be a lot tougher. But I'm actually being nice by being tough because being nice ended up leading to people not having enough deals, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, yeah. And so the lesson there is like accountability is a good thing. It helps people,
Right.
A
helps
tough
them.
one though, Chris. It really is. I mean, I've said those words for years, but I've had trouble executing on it.
Um, it is
I
for
think we
some.
all learn and grow in that. And I think there's always room just emotionally, to grow as leaders, our emotional intelligence.
Yeah, it's all about
And
frameworks too. If you're trying to be a nice guy, that's your identity, and you think that's not being nice, you probably won't do it. So you have to reframe it that being nice is actually holding them accountable.
exactly. John Sheplick has some great ways of communicating that. And I'm still work in progress
Yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah.
I love listening to his mindset on that.